YouTube video. And of course, these queens are clapping back. Here's everything we know. I'm Gabi Conti.
And I'm Chelsea Overocker.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and this is the Hollywire Tea Party. We are talking about the Amelio family today. They just dropped a new YouTube video titled Our First Mystery Guest, Dinner with the Amelios, giving fans a behind-the-scenes look at their lives, similar to what we can likely expect from their highly anticipated reality show. In the video, the whole Amelio family sits down to dinner as they are surprised by a special guest. This is the first episode of a new series they're trying out called Dinner with the Amelios. The family guesses who their surprise guest could be, thinking it might be Maya Rudolph, Megan Thee Stallion, Kevin Hart, or Taylor Swift. And then are surprised and pleased to discover it is actually Mr. James Charles. I think, first of all, that Dinner with the Amelios is so genius. I felt like when I was watching it that I was like part of the dinner, which I really liked. And it's cool, you know, we get to see them sitting down at a dinner table, having a conversation. It's just another look deeper into their lives, which I love. And then bringing on their famous friends. What's better than that if you can do it, you know? So yeah, I'm a fan of this. I really like this piece of content that they're doing.
I love it too. Yeah, I do feel like it's giving fans this intimate look, a look that we were promised we would be getting with their reality show, which makes me wonder, are they still doing a reality show? Is the Amelio family YouTube channel kind of like a teaser to get people excited about a reality show? I definitely think they have what it takes. And I think it's great watching them and kind of feeling like you are also their dinner guest.
Totally.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a really cool concept. And yeah, I just felt like it was a good conversation that they had with their friends. And we got to see like a different side of them almost too. I especially love the end when James is saying, yeah, I met Kim Kardashian, and Charlie can agree too. I think the ending was awesome. So I want to see more content like that.
Well, they kind of kept saying that this would be the last Amelio family dinner because a couple of things had happened, and we'll get into it more. And I'm sure if you've seen the video, you know, a couple of things happened that kind of made this feel a little bit messy. But I feel like that's why we like to watch this kind of content. I feel like if it was just like a sit down dinner with James and they just talked about all the industry stuff, it would be boring. Like, what made this video great is also the same stuff they're getting backlash on. And that has to deal with Dixie, like, you know, getting kind of nauseous from some of the food that was there. And also just Charlie just kind of being candid and asking for dino nuggets. I guess she didn't love the paella that this specialty chef prepared for them. But also, I mean, she's just being real and she's just being herself, which is why we love her.
Totally. I mean, I think, you know, what's so cool about these girls, people say that they're boring and people say, you know, I don't understand why everyone's so obsessed with them. Sure, whatever. I find them to be just so extremely relatable. And that's what I like about them. And watching this really solidified that for me. I was like, wow, like the conversations that they were having were things, you know, I would say, or maybe I would feel. I love that they discussed when certain things come up and drama happens on the internet, they call James because he's like the king of internet drama in a way. You know, he's always under backlash and on the radar and whatnot. And it was cool to even hear Charlie be like, you know, I met Kim Kardashian and I'm really nervous meeting people. It's just like, it just feels like these girls in this family are just like us and our family in a way. And I just really like that. As far as all the backlash they're getting for things that happen in this video, I think it's so crazy. We will definitely get more into it. But Chelsea, are you a fan of the Amelios? Like, what is your opinion on the Amelio family and sisters?
No, I am a fan of them. I love their TikToks, especially Charlie. I think my favorite was when she was doing the headstand and she was attempting it. Because I'm a gymnast growing up. So I was like, okay, I can relate to that too. But no, and like what you said perfectly, I think they're just so relatable. And that's what we like. They don't try to be this perfect family where they're sitting at the dinner table and everything is going great. No, I mean, it's that I think that would happen. And especially since Thanksgiving is coming around the corner, I'm sure many families are going to run into that situation where there's something they might not like or whatever. So I thought I love their family.
also like seeing them because I don't know if you guys relate to this, but I haven't seen my parents since the beginning of the pandemic. I miss my family a lot.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like watching this, if you are separated from your family, you feel like you're part of their family, which I think is really nice. I think it's great for fans to see this. I've also been wondering too, and you kind of get this vibe with the D'Amelios and James that like is the D'Amelio family and also like is the Lopez Esterling family, are these big TikTok families kind of like being the makeshift families for all these TikTok creators who are out here in Los Angeles and Hollywood without their family? James was saying he wishes that his parents would come out here. He knows that his mom would be here in a heartbeat, but his dad might be a little bit more reluctant, but perhaps they'll move to Colorado. So I do think it's kind of great to see this family bond. And, I know they get compared to the Kardashians a lot. Dixie had spoken about it that, getting compared to the Kardashians and getting, being told that they could be the next Kardashian family is a lot of pressure for them because they're different. They are completely different families and they're doing different things and they want to be remembered as what they're doing and who they are. But I will say the one thing that the D'Amelios and the Kardashians have in common is that at the end of the day, they're family and they're kind of like your family, but a little different, more TikTok famous in the situation or more Instagram famous in the Kardashian situation. But I think it's really nice to watch this. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it is. That's so true. It's very comforting. I totally agree. It's super comforting in a way. And it is fun to be brought into the lives of a famous family that was literally just like us and our families 1 year ago, before they blew up on this app and gained all this fame. So I'm definitely here for this. Shall we get into why everyone
let's get into it.
up the drama?
I'm seeing the comments coming in. So as we talk more about this video and about the controversy that's behind the video, we'd love to hear from you. So let us know what you thought of this video and what do you think about people dragging the D'Amelios in the comment section. We're going to get more into this. Okay, so James and the family, they talk about their crazy lives that they've been having over the past year and the lives they're living now and how they've been navigating fame as Dixie appears to be very distracted by something in her paella, and which turns out to be a snail, which is in there for good luck. Dixie eats the snail for good luck and then throws it up. I'm sorry if that's a little queasy. And then Charlie asks if, quote, they have any dino nuggets. Mark then goes on to explain how it's been helpful for his daughters to be around other successful young people like James as they're figuring out Hollywood. And James has been a great guide for the girls, but the girls seem to have a hard time being adventurous with the food they're eating. So Mark says this is likely the first and very last episode of Dinner with the D'Amelios. But, I kind of beg to differ. I think kind of seeing these two girls who it sounds like have very basic food taste, which like no shade to them at all for that. You like what you like and you don't like what you don't like. I think it's kind of interesting to see them have to try these exotic foods and kind of see how they deal with it. If you don't know, paella is a Spanish dish. It consists of rice and broth and usually seafood. I never heard about putting snails in paella, but I guess that's a traditional thing. And the snails, I guess if you eat them, are good luck. But, snails are a delicacy in France. It's called escargot. People love it. I guess, Dixie has said in the past that she is a little queasy when it comes to food and that she does, she's a picky eater. So it makes sense why she reacted in this way.
Yeah,
totally.
I just give her props for trying it too, because most people would just put it off to the side. But hey, at least she tried it.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can't hate on the kids if they're picky eaters, like Gabi kind of said. And I also give her props, like Chelsea said, for trying a snail, because as adventurous as I am with foods, you guys, I don't know. Like, I don't think I could do a snail. I think that's where I draw the line. But I thought Dixie was hilarious again. Like, we talk about this with Dixie all the time. She does not care if she's on camera. She doesn't care who she's in front of. I feel like it could be Justin Bieber and she would still just be like rightfully herself. I mean, she literally like left the whole shoot and went and threw up. It was like, I just threw up. Like, yeah, I like love her for that,
She's very much herself. I mean, and that's really this is not the first time that fans have been saying this. Fans think that Dixie is the least favorite daughter. They've been accusing Mark and Heidi of like hating Dixie and like loving Charlie. And I don't think that is the case at all. I love how Dixie ended up getting into the comments, which is where the clapbacks come from, and kind of telling people that that's not the case. I think that Mark and Heidi are wonderful parents that are clearly trying their best as they navigate this new world of fame. And yeah, I mean, Dixie's 19 years old. They've been watching her eat and feeding her since she was a baby. So they know what she likes and what she doesn't like. And, you know, they called her dramatic, but I mean, it sounds like, and she later defended this, that if she does normally get queasy or, you know, throws up from eating food she doesn't like they're used to it. They're not gonna like go and make sure she's okay. But yeah, you know, the fans are really savage. The comments, the followers are really savage about this.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I think a lot of jokes were made and things were said, but it was all in the family's like personality. It wasn't anything to like take jabs at.
No.
Like especially the moment with Dixie and the snail and throwing up, like chill. I just think it's so crazy that people are like, they didn't check on her. Like she's a grown woman. She lives on her own. Like she's going to be okay.
Also, there was a big giant glass door. They could see her.
Yeah.
And there was production staff around. She was like referring to some other, like it sounded like a producer or someone who was there who was checking on her. And I feel like the D'Amelios were just trying to keep the dinner going. What do you think about this, Chelsea?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if I'm going to throw up or get sick, I kind of want privacy. Like, I don't want everyone in my face either. So I'm kind of glad the family stayed there. But yeah, there was a big glass window. Even James made a comment saying, okay, I'm just not going to look over there because I can clearly see it. So it's not like they didn't know that she wasn't okay. And if they had any concerns, they obviously would have gotten up and made sure that she was all right. But yeah, whenever I don't feel good or I'm going to throw up, I want privacy. I don't want people to see that.
Totally.
And especially she didn't want to do it on camera, you know?
No, I'll be mortified.
100%. Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Okay. So moving on from that, well, some haters have been making videos, making fun of certain parts of this family dinner, like the part where Charlie realizes that it will almost be a year since she hit 1 million followers on TikTok. And what if she hit 100 million on that year anniversary? James jokes, was 95 not enough for you? Someone made a TikTok of that soundbite and the comments were getting pretty vicious. So James, of course, came to Charlie's defense saying, Charlie is so grateful for everyone who supports her. I was just joking with her when I said this. I don't like these comments dragging her. And I'm so glad he stuck up for her because, like, I mean, again, it's just like sometimes internet trolls and fans just take things to another level. Like, of course, she's so grateful and whatnot. We also have to remember Charlie is 16 years old. You know, like, I feel like people forget that when they come for her or when they pick apart things she says. Like, the girl is 16. Like, let her breathe, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And also that James was making fun of her. He wasn't like shading her. And it's interesting too, because I feel like James also gets dragged a lot on social media every time he does anything. So for James to be the unproblematic one in this video was interesting to me. Fans were definitely like excited for James, and siding with him. But what they didn't really realize is that it wasn't a James against Charlie thing. James was doing what all good friends do and just kind of keeping her in her lane and keeping her grounded, which is what any good friend does. Well, guys, we want to hear from you and what you thought of this video and what do you think about the D'Amelios getting dragged? I feel like it happens a lot. Let us know your thoughts. I'm Gabi Conti.
And I'm Chelsea Overocker.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and keep it here only on Hollywire for the Hollywire Tea Party. See you guys next time.
Bye.